Okay, let's hope for the best. You recording?
Yeah.
Starting now. You know what? I feel like taking this off. It's nice. We're here today. Hello, everyone. I'm here to read the lecture by Satya, Marriage Chemistry Laws. It has few parts. Today we're doing the first one. Not any of them are more or less important. Just go with the flow, listen to all of them. So who is Satya? Satya is a specialist in family relationship. He's also a philosopher, writer, traveler. He was born in Russia in 1972, Dnipropetrovsk, been vegetarian for 20 years, and studied family psychology. So he lived through different phases of Soviet Union and Russia and studied relationship during all those times. That gives him well-rounded experience, doesn't it? He's also been married for over 30 years. And when it comes to things, like when it comes to listening to somebody about how we should be living our lives, if you want to learn about marriage and how to be happy, you probably want to listen to somebody who has done it happily with experience and who taught others. Satya gets a lot of gratitude letters for his work. And in fact, I find his work very appealing. It explains a lot to me and in my life. And so I'm also grateful. And it's part of a project even that I'm doing. What I'd like to add from me is that Satya is just a great guy. Okay, but he's also very rude. And I'm trying to translate as close as possible. But yeah, if it's too rude, it's not me. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but probably not. I'm just gonna fix camera because I think it's on a tilt.
Okay.
It's on a tilt. Ready? Okay. We should, by law, prohibit men to watch porn and women to watch drama. So when they get married, they don't think that these things are real and expectations are realistic. This cannot happen in reality. But yet people get married and expect those things from each other. Let's not go into details. We are affected by many things, and our happiness is our chemistry. Our positive emotions is something happening in our body. We get in contact with somebody or something, and something happens. It's almost like magic. We can't see, but it happens, and we feel happy or unhappy. Satya recommends a book, Hormones of Happiness by Loretta Graziano Bruin. I hope I pronounced that right. So this book is more on the medical side of hormones. We're going to talk more about psychology, but this actually explains medical processes, chemical processes in the body. Anyway, that's my understanding. Could be very interesting. I don't know, I haven't read it, but he recommends. So people say there are women hormones and men hormones. However, they are just hormones. Act your gender, remember? They're just hormones that our bodies produce depending on our activities, and it happens in multiple organs. We won't go too much into chemistry, once again, because it's a psychological lecture, psychology. But I'm telling you this to give you context about the upcoming information. Dopamine is a hormone of joy. We all know dopamine?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's hormones of happiness, creates feeling of instant happiness, instant gratitude. It's like a short term. Oxytocin is a hormone that gives feeling of safety It's a social hormone. Hormones of hug, hormones of love, connection. It's a woman's main stress relief hormone. Men not so much. I mean, men love oxytocin, but it doesn't relieve their stress. So we are primates with souls. We like to take care of each other and be taken care of each other. And if you look at monkeys, they constantly digging into each other and like finding some things in their fur, and it's really cute and it's really affectionate. So oxytocin working. Endorphin. What's endorphin? Gives the feeling of lightness, light oblivion. You forget about everything. It helps to relieve the pain. Usually during pain, yeah. Serotonin is also a hormone of happiness. It creates, this is basically men's hormone of happiness. It creates happiness of social meaning, gratitude hormone, social appreciation and respect. When somebody is thanking you, when somebody is thanking you, you get that hormone produced. Cortisol fights extreme stress and pain. Women produce a lot of it while giving birth. Testosterone is men's hormone for masculinity, and testosterone is the main hormone for men to relieve stress. While estrogen is female hormone, but not to be mixed with oxytocin, because estrogen is just what makes woman, all these fat parts that men love, but it doesn't help relieve stress. It also makes man looking woman. Be careful with beer, yeah? Especially you.
Yeah.
Okay. Adrenaline releases in the moment of fear. So the difference between cortisol and adrenaline is that adrenaline is kind of before danger, like while and before danger, and cortisol is already after. So that's it, you're giving birth. You cannot run. Satya was giving this interesting example of chicken. So the chicken is sitting on a fence and seeing a person with a knife approaching. She starts to produce adrenaline. She might run away, she might jump higher than usual. Cortisol is when she runs beheaded for 30 seconds. It's already too late, it's happened. It's awful, awful. Not me, Satya, not me. So adrenaline is produced during excitement. So with all that in mind, just to conclude, once again, men need testosterone to fight stress and women oxytocin, not estrogen. Estrogen is women's sexuality hormone. Yeah. So let's talk about what they do to us, all these hormones. Men and women get stress from different sources. Base situation, we're talking about emotionally mature people that are not neurotics or anything, they just working, living their life. Maybe women don't work. Okay, this is just main base situation. Men in men world usually has stress because of competition, because there are a lot of other people and only limited resources. And he, as a provider, he needs to go and get those resources. And yeah, it's a healthy level of competition. Healthy level of competition will not hurt any man. There's a lot of testosterone. And he gets stressed because everybody wants to get something from him. Everyone wants something. It stresses them out. Women in women's world, normal woman, the one that respects herself, she will never communicate with people who put any kind of competition with her. So she will try to border herself away from competition because that's not her nature. In principle, everyone is striving towards that. For example, a man will not aim for a life where he's not communicating with anyone. That will ruin his life. He's just be in depression all the time. and where he will make the money from if he's not out in social setting. A man obtains everything there in social settings, socially. Woman, on the other hand, can escape that. She can surround herself only with those people who care for her, who don't make her compete for anything, and she will feel protected. I quote Satya, from all that bullshit. Okay? In the same way, man can surround himself with people who can provide for him the things he likes. For example, man likes comfort, but they don't like creating it. They like coziness, they like good food, but don't like to cook, don't like to get little things and decorate the house. And women, for example, they like to spend money, but don't really like earning them. Therefore, you scratch my back, and I scratch yours. Let's add sex into this mixture, and we have all the conditions to start a family. No matter how rude this sounds, I just told you basis of family life. That's essentially why men and women hang together. Women mostly don't like to work. They are forced to. As a woman, I can confirm. But we know that stress comes into our lives in different ways. And where do majority women get their stress from? You'll be shocked, but it's in their heads. Because women have very strong minds that show them incredible things. It's actually counted somewhere in ancient writings. Somehow they calculated that an energy of woman is 9 times stronger than the energy of man. We're talking about proper woman, like not.
What do we talk about?
I have no idea. I don't know how. But somehow they calculated it.
The bold claim.
I don't think it was just bold claim. I think it was a conclusion that Satya said to something that he read. They somehow made that. You know what? Yeah, I believe. I believe. I've seen it. I've seen power of women. So you haven't seen it?
No, not it. Say that it's 9 times bigger,
Yeah.
stronger on the frequency. How do you prove that?
They somehow did. I don't know. I will maybe research later. But this is not relevant to what I'm doing with my project. So, but it's very interesting. Yeah, I believe that. But of course, we're talking about woman who realized herself as a woman, not as an accountant, right? Who knows about all the women tricks and looks after herself, takes care of everybody, and has energy to spare for that. Has happy family and all that. All that. So, the stress for women mostly come from their heads, because women are strong in their heads. So it's not good or bad. It's just is. That's the way it is, and it has been written in ancient writings as well. It's not a modern thing. It's the way our evolution formed us. Right? There is a major plus with that, because all the problems are here. That's where they can be fixed. In fact, if the problem cannot be solved, you can just talk about it, and it will become much easier, much better. It will mostly even almost like go away. With men, it's different. You can't just talk about your problem and it will go away, because you can't just talk to your body and say, hey, I owed to the bank 200K, and then it went away. No, can't do that. Or some people are chasing me, some mafia. They just keep chasing you. Of course, there are women that love to earn money as well, and they also start to get men's problems, like also owe some loans to bank. And as per men's scheme, she's getting problems from social setting. Yeah, it's not like you go outside and everybody's like, what a beautiful woman, let's throw money at her. No, you have to work for it. Somehow you have to earn your happiness. You can't just say, I love this process. No, you don't. Very, very rare, some moments maybe you laugh at your job, but realities, you want to spend your time somewhere else and only maybe do those fun bits. Yeah. So when women go out to get money, they have to also deal with men's problems. And men's problems is when people approach you, they want something from you. And for women, it's stressful. Like you have to deal with some clients, some taxes, some of them are really annoying, some people. Then the COVID came, you have to put masks on, the manicure place is closed, hairdresser is closed. How are you supposed to look great and keep working, even though online, but you might get a bit jumpy from all that. So, whereas for men, oh, cool, I'm in the same tracky pants at home for 5 days, no problem, haircut, no problem, So problems are from other living beings, and sometimes happens. Sometimes. So women who hang in society, she must understand that she will get stressed accordingly to men's principle and to women. And if we really be truthful with ourselves, then most women don't work for pleasure. I already said that. Or like they saying they self-realizing, self-actualizing, but it's actually a myth. Even from myself, I can say all the time I was self-actualizing, I had to take time off work. At work was like just a little bit, I was learning some programs maybe, but it's most of the time you're doing what you don't want and you feel like you'd rather do something else, I will do a lecture also by Satya, 4 myths about women's work. Please join in. So if she or I wouldn't get paid for that work, she wouldn't even talk to these people. She wouldn't listen to their problems, wouldn't go for lunch with them. At least she would be more selective. But yeah, you have to play a social game as well. Playing a social game is sometimes very intense. So she takes on men's problems, but your mind is still a woman's mind, and you can't change that. It's been developing for millions of years. Problem there and problem there. So now we have 2 types of problems. And the major problem, we don't know anymore where to release this stress. Where do we leave it? It's so much of it. How do you get rid of it? And then women start with their, I like it. It's different time now. It's 21st century and all that crap. But we are the same. You can't change hormones. You can't change the way we're built. And they say, no, we don't need anybody, we don't need anything, don't need a man. But all 100% of women want to get married, want to be in happy married relationship. And of course, socially we never say, and many women will never say, but when they go to psychologists, they say, this lecture is coming from psychologists. And they start crying, oh, I'm already 26. I have a job and everything. I already got a cat. And she starts crying. I have a cat. She's beautiful. So for some strange reason, unexplained, women want this. And men, if you look at their needs didn't change. You can ask 20 years ago and 50 years ago, 10,000 years ago, the needs are still the same. So it's only entourage that changed, but not the people. And you look at women and you realize that actually a lot of money that they're earning still going into the way they look, because all of these needs to be maintained, plugged in, plugged out, inserted, brushed, so on. And all the creams for different parts of body. Yeah, we spend a lot of money on this. And look at man. Beautiful creature. Just put t-shirt, it's fine. If the man is in an ironed shirt, it's probably because he still lives with his mom. Or has somebody, because he wouldn't iron his shirt himself, right? On a rare occasion.
Depends on your job.
But It was probably his woman who did it for him.
No.
Or mom. Or mom, she did it and then she left for holiday. But the shots are already there, prepared.
No.
I swear I know someone like that. So for men, the beauty expenses are minimal. And everyone is for some reason so independent. But even me, I'm sitting here in a nice dress. And many women, they just go out, have nice dress, hair done, makeup done. What if something happens? What if something? What if? You never know. But what if? We don't know what, but what if? We just want to look pretty for the what if. You know? It's also a bit of a women competition going on.
Oh, I know. I was looking for it.
No, but that's, yeah. So, if you ask most women, they say, I'm just doing it for myself. 50% of my budget on cosmetics just for me. I'm in heels, I have varicose. It's just for me. I want to look beautiful. And some women go in winter in netted stockings just for me. Yeah, yes, just for me. I want to look beautiful. So, the aim of this lecture, seminar, is to offer people new, different look at each other and action program for creating new and healthy relationships, alternative way of living, maybe not the one you used to. We need to understand that men and women are different, we live differently, obtain our stress differently, and have different ways of releasing it. So we are going to talk about this chemistry. There is no point of undertaking new actions and work on ourselves, accept ourselves, if we don't understand how we function. We don't understand our needs and roles and our nature, physiology and psychology. So first understand it and then act. And it's not only ours, the opposite gender as well. If you are trying to change yourself without understanding the other side, it's pointless. You'll be struggling. And if you're trying to change without understanding yourself, it's the same. But people, they try, and then they try to change others. That's really scary, but they do. And if you decide, as a man, I'm going to be the best man. I'm going to be so good for her, she's going to worship me, and I'll do everything, I'll go out of my way. You'll still be a moron in the end, because without understanding what she needs, you just will not succeed. You will not make her happy, even though you tried your best. But she'll still hate you. She'll wish you'll die slowly. So, we are living in a world where everything is changing way too fast. Never before in human history did we have this kind of circumstances. We are witnessing such a radical changes that we can't keep up. I mean, if you think about it, our mothers, our grandmothers, and their grandmothers all lived completely different life to the life we are living now. It's insane. How can you keep up? So we demand from each other and from ourselves things that we can't even give ourselves. Responsibilities and goals we set for each other and ourselves significantly exceed our capabilities. So goals are too high. They're just too high. And so we are all in constant stress. But we say, oh, we are just ambitious. But no. Everything is great. We have equity. Feminists won 100 years ago. Men accepted that a while ago. In fact, we have a society where women rule, like it or not, and poor men don't know what to do with that. I'm just a messenger. They are already saying they are gay. Satya. They're already saying they're gay. There's some truth to that. They just want to get out from that influence, so they don't have to marry anyone, you know, or be under influence of any women. So A poor boy is born into our society, and from about 2 years of age, women start ridiculing him. Everyone. Mama, grandma, preschool teacher, school teacher, primary school, middle school, high school, went to hospital, there is a woman ridiculing him, sticks something into you, and not only needles. No matter how you put it, till 30 years old, you are around women who are trying to format you and make fun of you, right? And then this is very confusing to men, but this is how they feel. This is how they feel, that they just being lowered, kind of. And suddenly, women are weak gender. And men thinks, what are? You can't beat them at school, even though they are acting like they deserve to be beaten. And she's touching you and irritating you and beating you. But then the woman teacher says, you cannot beat her, she's a girl. And the men are really confused. And why is all this? It's not clear to men. But then, if you still didn't get it, it's confirmed by law that you cannot touch women physically. And so man is living in this hell of a lot of restrictions. And then everyone says, you're an abuser, you're a rapist, and all these awful things. And if we talk about domestic violence, what image comes into our mind? Man.
Physical.
Probably physical violence is a man, some drunk man and some ripped off shot. Probably. And no one thinks that it could be a woman, but actually those cute little things can also do some violence, and their domestic violence, it's more about emotional abuse, a lot of emotional abuse, and it's like and men just can't take it. I'm not accusing ones or the other ones, it's just the way it is right now. Okay, we will get into explanation of all of this, but emotional abuse is also an abuse, and it's usually what women use, unless you are like master of sport. But then again, if you're master of sport, your husband is probably also some sort of master of sport. But physically, men are stronger. So if you're both master of sport, you still you will win your woman. So people said we need a law, and we've got a law, and it's called Constitution. But here is an interesting fact to process. So 99% of all complaints on husbands, on abusive husbands, coming from women, written by their wives. And who do you think takes them back? Women. Because he can't go. Whom am I going to ridicule? No, you scared him, thank you very much, but now you need to return him so I can ridicule him some more. But the difference is now he will know that cops are on my side. And now if he doesn't listen to me, they will come and tell him, you lie on the floor, bitch. You know? So they're getting police on our side. They're getting police on their side. Not abuser. So we don't want to stop domestic violence. We just want police on our side. With equality, men became weak gender, unless they are at war. Teachers, caretakers, doctors, mamas, grandmothers, and then the wife. Okay, it was a joke. Was it? Let's say it was. Okay, but the reality is somewhere along those lines. All of us have access to information, to education, and opportunities for work are similar. On the other hand, it seems insane. We have not only women in military now, but also gynecologists for them, also there in military. And there was no time in history when women were expected to do so much. These things, they became a heavy load. They grow into burden, and they manifest themselves in stress. A lot of stress, of course. Women are in constant stress. Men and women conflict all the time. The more we expect from each other, the bigger the conflict. What is the mistake of a woman? She expects from a man behavior peculiar to a woman because she doesn't understand men, but she understands herself. You must be like me. A good husband is like my best friend. She understands me from half a word. Common truth. And then we see it's not like that at all. And men don't understand what women want from them. And the only thing they can imagine is, one of the women wrote to Satya, my husband says that a wife is a woman who will cover for you, steal for you, if there is a danger, and like will fight for you. Wow. He said, you're a lucky married man. You should have married your best mate from the army. At least it would be clear, you know. With all the rights came all the responsibilities, and men and women begin conflicts because of their expectations, because the responsibilities are not clear anymore. Without clear split of responsibilities, clear and constructive understanding of our differences and differences between us, majority of couples come to a conclusion that everyone can only count on themselves. It's very sad. When any man thinks back in time, when he was only like exploring the thoughts of a woman, when like young, really young, oh, I want to carry her back, I want to bring her flower, you know, I want to make her happy. And now it's more like we're partners. Where are you going to work? You know, it's no more happiness. It's just like we must do things for each other. And then the woman says, but we have a baby. So what? He's already crawling. Let him crawl to preschool. We have a mortgage to pay. We're partners. Partners. Wow. Now, even psychologists say, and this is real, well, it's probably only partnerships from now on. It's only when people don't depend on each other that can build relationships. And this is outrageous. What kind of relationships? A family? Well, if you are independent from each other, would you then need each other? And how are you helping each other? So, how was that? I've added some of my touch. It is an adaptation, you know. What are the ways to relieve stress? What is good for one is shocking for another. Here is where men and women go very different ways. Are you relaxing with massage or archery? Are you biting heads of pigeons? No?
Rats.
Rats? Okay, rats. Well, wherever tickles your fancy. In general, though, men have been seen going into a cave. Man wants to hide and be alone, while a woman wants to talk a lot. As a woman, I can confirm it's true. This is because men and women have different hormones participating in the process of stress relief. Woman wants to share and talks, and she feels better if a man understands. And if a man understands that he can just listen, and then he'll be like, oh wow, I just listened and she feels better, I'm so good. I didn't even need to do anything, I just listened, you know. That's all, and she feels better. I'm the handsome man, you know. But if he doesn't understand that, then he might want to share his problems too, expect some shielding from her, and that's not going to end well. If he's going to share his anxieties and fears, it's not going to end well. Suddenly a woman will lose her sexual desire towards this man. Do you know why? Because her maternity instinct turns on. When you complain to a woman, even without realizing that, maternity instinct turns on. She wants to hug you, look after you, she'll listen to your problems. But then suddenly, I don't want him, I don't know why. I don't know why. It's just instinct, it's not... So, and the thing is, if it's the maternity instinct, and subconsciously, you have to always think subconsciously, this is your child now, and no mother wants to sleep with her child. It's strange. It's strange on instinct level. You just don't do that. And if that happens, you should get a treatment. It's not normal. You know, that's why man starts talking, and woman doesn't understand why she doesn't want him anymore. At the same time, she's asking, "Tell me what's happening in your life." We sort of need to share things. Share, don't hold it inside. And if a man is not smart enough, he'll tell her everything. And she's like, there are normal men. How did I get such a moron? It's not like we hate each other to start with. We want to love and we want to make people happy. And conflicts arise, as noted scientifically, with the closest to us people, right? People that we love. And all because of this lack of knowledge of how we work. It's like Finnish and Mongols trying to understand each other, but between them is Russia, right? The fat country. And have you noticed no one occupied Russia yet?
Hmm?
No one occupied Russia yet? Have you noticed?
Until they fix the winter of Russia, they won't stop
It's
occupying.
just too big. It's just too big. You can walk and walk and you die. So far they went like to Moscow, but they went there, they were already tired. Then they fought there and then they're like, no, too difficult. Lost some men and returned. Anyway. Why do women feel stressed? Probably a lot of it comes from work. A long time ago, work was something that women could choose to do, non-obligatory. And some feminists were saying, I'm only quoting Satya, okay, the whole time, by the way. So I'm Satya, not Ina, okay? We don't have women working on oil well or in a long distance truck driving. And it's like, what? Because women, not normal woman, not one will do that, like pee in a bottle and smell bad for a few days. Imagine driving long truck distance. I don't know. So no woman in her right mind will do a job like that. Or women plumbers, imagine. Oh, what's here, shit? Oh, hold on, let me just roll my sleeve up. Look at that. I just love my job. In Russia, and I'm sure in many countries of the world, hundreds of jobs are prohibited for women. There are some jobs that women shouldn't do, like harmful jobs, poisonous, and some industrial job, heavy lifting, wherever. It's a lot of jobs. And that feminist then goes, this is sexism. And so she was asked, will you work there yourself? And she said, no, but I want to make it my own choice. That I will go there and tell you, I don't want to work here. Or you don't pay me enough, or whatever. And what's the point? And that's the problem. That's the problem of society. We just want to say that, like, it's our choice. I don't know. People just need to treat their heads. A lot of problems are from the head. So we worked and worked for that. And now we know that a lot of women not just self-actualizing in this harmful industrial job, in the free of happy family time, right? They have to work there. They have to. Because of the lifestyle they chose, because of their strange new traditions. It's like, when are you going to go to work? How long are you going to live off your husband's money? And what if he dies? And what if he leaves you for another woman? You need to prepare. Well, some say, if he dies, then I'll prepare. No, you'll only wash floors then. Nobody will want you anymore. No, nobody will want you anymore. You won't be good for anything. And the woman is like, oh, my husband is telling me I don't need to work, but my mom, my girlfriends, my neighbors say I need to. And then this was probably from one of the sessions with him. So Satya said to her, well, maybe they are just jealous. How is it possible? You are not working while they are. It's outrageous, right? And she's waiting for her husband. She has kids and everything is fine. And the home, everything, the life she wanted, the kids the way they wanted in her home, watching YouTube, growing her cactus, going to fitness, macrame, doing some crafts, arts and crafts. Yeah? Made a appointment for manicure in the middle of the working week? Bitch. Yeah, that's what other women think, bitch. How dare you? Yeah. Meanwhile, all those women, oh, it's Sunday, what are my options? Cook for the whole week for whole family, make myself manicure, or just sleep. Hell with it, I'll just sleep. Mommy is tired, I'll just sleep. And she was fighting for that yesterday, okay? This jealousy is because everyone understands that all these women thinks they still with women. They didn't go anywhere. So you'll still be cooking and run around the house with a duster because women can't just lie down and relax if it's not tidy. Absolutely true, can confirm as a woman, cannot. Why a man in stress is lying down and a woman in stress is vacuuming? Have you noticed that? Just doing something quickly. That's because we need different things to process stress, to get rid of it. Men just lying down. Anyway, men, they acquire all their testosterone and all their stress at work, and what they do, they lie down. Whereas women, they cannot just lie down. Just different processes. That's all. You will never see a woman lying down in stress. It's tired, yes. In stress, no. But tired in stress, still no. Yeah. And even if a woman is saying no to work, she starts feeling isolated at home. What? Just stay home? I was on maternity leave for 4 years. I didn't enjoy it. So why were you just sitting home? We ask, right? You should have been living your life, filled with interesting things. But it's impossible to stay home and have interesting life. That's why I went to work. That's why I need to work. Now the government needs me. I'm an accountant. I'm self-developing here. As who? Not clear. Why weren't you developing at home? Right? I couldn't at home. Well, then you are just limited in. There is a category of people who see themselves in the gym in the morning or go for a run, but they are so lazy and not very smart that they get a dog. So the dog will motivate them to do that. And then two partners look at each other and like, no, you walk today. No, you walk today. And the poor dog is sitting there. Hey, the nature is calling me, you know. Sometimes people just don't want to do things. Okay, and it's no excuse that I need to go to work. That's why I'm self-developing. If you want to self-develop, I've had this argument with women many times. If you want to self-develop, you don't go and find a job with some crazy artist. And like, because I'm self-realizing as artist. I've had that conversation. Like, why do you need to work with this absolutely crazy? And the woman was nuts. She's like, well, I'm self-actualizing, wherever. And I'm like, well, let's make it clear. It's about money. She's paying you. If she didn't pay you, you wouldn't stand this nutcase for a minute. Because the woman was a nutcase. And everybody, the whole team knew that this is just crazy, you know. But no, I'm self-actualizing. Okay, go self-actualize. What kind of man women dream of? We know that women dream that men became more like women. How's that? They dream men will like housework, like vacuum, dusting, beautiful shelves, you know, look after kids. The most popular question a psychologist gets, how can I convince my husband to participate in child upbringing? So he doesn't participate? No. And what does he do? He's working all day, is making money. Hopefully for the kids? Yes. So, let's see, what do you really want? I'm tired. Okay, let's rephrase your query. Do you need help? Yes. Well, then just say to your husband, honey, help me a bit, I'm tired. I just want him to participate. Oh my God, do you hear yourself? Psychologist says. So, why is this an issue? Sorry, was it clear that it was like a dialogue? Okay, good. Because we are partners. That's an issue, okay? Everything is half-half. And then, boom, woman is pregnant and you can't go helps anymore. Yeah, no man wants kids. Why? Because he has a calculator. Because man is like, we're both working. Not for all men, for most men.
That's it.
Yeah, man has a calculator.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're both working. We earn 30. So I earn 30. She earns 25. We have 55. We are paying for a loan. That's 25. Yeah, we're saving for cheese. Yeah, and then she says, I want kids. Hold on. So mine is 25. We have 30 left. The loan is 25. No, honey, let's do it later.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
It's because man understands that now both of you are working, and then boom, one worker is gone. And it's not like for a few days. We're talking about like usually, what is it, 1.5 years or something like that. But they,
18 years.
no, 18 years, no. No, we're talking, no, this is like ideal. That's when you don't go back to work.
Exactly.
No, we're talking about partnership issue.
Yeah, and then you have you lose a worker, then you have to sustain 2 people for 18 years.
Exactly. No, but if it's for 18 years, sorry, that's another discussion. If it's for 18 years, if a woman says, I'm not working, you probably knew that before marrying her, which is the way it should be. Women shouldn't work for you. It's men's responsibility.
Saying is to raise a child to adulthood is 18 years.
Yeah, but the ideal maternity leave, according to child psychology, most beneficial method is 5.5 years. Because you have obviously half a year before the child is born and then 5 years after. And this is because when a child is born, this is the problem of our world, okay? When a child is born, they're given away to institutions almost right away, okay? But the ideal situation, the child needs to be born and he needs to know, he or she, they need to know they're loved and needs to be surrounded by grown-ups. And child needs to see that grown-ups need him, that they're happy, that they're happy to have him in this world and not that he's in some institution with somebody else. And then they actually wonder, well, this child is not like from my family. Well, of course, this child is not from your family. Well, only partially, because actually partially he's in another family, and somebody else is teaching them how they know, because you are not there to teach them. And then after 5, once the child already, the self-esteem formed and everything is in the right place, then you can give child to social, to socialize with other children with this healthy attitude. So a man understands that now, to at least support the same lifestyle, he now has to earn 3 times more. 3 times more. I say if you can't afford a family, just don't have a family. If you cannot support 3 human beings right now, don't have a family. Instead of her, and for that additional human that has just been born, and you would think that a newborn doesn't eat much, it eats a lot. And plus nappies, plus all of the accessories, it's a lot. Child is expensive. And in the world that we are living, fulfilling the roles of a man and woman is just nearly impossible, unless you have strict boundaries. Like, no, that's what I want. And all of this is dressed up in the nice words too, like we live in a modern world, this is 21st century, everything is different. We have professionals for everything, okay? You can now give child away at 3 weeks old to institutions. It's awful, it's shocking, but you can do it. And these great professionals will take loving care of your precious child, right? But please note, any teacher is teaching the way they know life. So don't be surprised if your child suddenly says something to you that you never taught them, and because that's the reality. I didn't teach you that. Well, you didn't. Mrs. Smith did. A woman wants to see her man as a hero, protector and provider, and at the same time he must possess some sort of features of wife, that will split her house duty with her. And she, it, strange being, must have also strength and desire to courtship her and love her, make her wishes come true, and perform husband's obligations. Many women come from work and feel additional stress because working women produce testosterone at a man's level. And then they come home and two men meet.
I don't think that's possible. At men's level. Well, to be fair, men's testosterone is plummeted, but yeah, you're right. Not that much left.
Yeah, so a woman produces less testosterone naturally, you're right, but because men's testosterone is now falling, it's about equal.
Yeah.
And I actually personally know, and everyone does, more manly women than men. It's a lot of testosterone, but they usually push their ideas. They're like, whoa, you know.
For the record, in Portugal, they say that 200 something is high testosterone. It's abysmal, be 4 times higher.
But I think I think we'll come back to that point. He had actually somewhere research.
Yes.
I think it will be in, I don't remember, this lecture or next lecture. Anyway. And then they come home and two men meet.
Yeah.
Technically two men meet, subconscious level. You must always look at the subconscious. So when you act your gender, whom do you act as? And the way we perceive person, not the way what you actually see. You know? Similarly, modern man is dreaming of something like that too. That woman that will self-actualize, make money, she will be strong and courageous, and she will have his back. She'll be like his mother when he was 6, and he can come to her into her arms and complain about everything, tell her everything, get advice. And with that, she'll, of course, steal and die for him, and lie for him, and everything. And cooking will be great. Children will be well raised, looking like him, and the house is cozy, but he had nothing to do with that. Because he comes home to rest, right? According to ancient tradition. This is because to release stress for men, he needs to lie down. Come back to your point, yeah? He's had his testosterone now, and now he needs to just lie down to restore his muscles. Women are different. They need oxytocin, and they can't produce it by lying down. They need to experience something nice, you know, and experience something that take care of somebody or being taken care of. And how would that happen if she needs to cook for everybody? Women don't understand why men don't want to share household duties and get angry about it, and men don't understand why they're angry. But didn't you want to work? You said you were bored and now you are entertained. Too much entertainment. Oh, so you just wanted to switch roles. You go work and I stay home. Bad idea. Men are just not capable of performing house duties well. Honestly, I've heard of one couple that were happy with that, but I don't know. I need to check if they're still together. I really need to check. And yeah, one couple I know, they publicly announced we are switching. Husband will be at home, back in Australia. I want to check if they're still together. It's been.
The other thing is reverse.
Yeah, completely reverse. Completely reverse. Yeah. Well, I'll check. I'll let you know in the next lecture if they're still together. What? Well, maybe possible. Well, I'm just a messenger. I know this couple.
Yeah, I'm betting no.
Who are doing? I want to check if they're still together. Let's not speculate. Let's go by facts. Okay?
Speculate. Okay.
Let's go by facts. So I'll let you know next time. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. Well, I guess if Instagram is still there with happy pictures.
Call them. Send them.
It will be. Are you still together? You guys still together? Okay. Anyway. So men are just not capable of performing house duties well. Of course they're capable, but just not as well. Okay, and women experience a lot of stress because of that. And she tells him off all the time for badly done dishes or badly done house duties or anything, any errands. And that only adds to his stress and to her stress. So, you know how women often say, I try to do it myself. If I want to get something done, I do it myself. And that's how it happens, because men just cannot, they just cannot, you know. But they're good for other things. Okay? We need each other. So she needs to ask for support, but doesn't know how to, okay? In a healthy relationship, when a woman asks her man for support, he's happy. If he is not happy, or if she's uncomfortable asking for help, something is already wrong, okay? Many women think it's easier to just do it themselves, earn money and make things happen, just easier to do it themselves. So why does a man want to help a woman? The answer will surprise you. Because he's selfish. He wants something in return. What do you think that is?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Okay, it's not sex. I'm glad you just didn't go sex. Yeah, I'm glad. It only confirms.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
It's not sex.
Absolutely.
So men, this is an interesting story. So men always have sex. My laptop. Again, men and women are different. So men discover sex at around age of 12 or wherever, some earlier, some later. And it's the peak of sex. It's like, wow, this thing is not just a peak, it can get a lot of pleasure. That's a peak. It can never get better. Whereas women, they're like, oh, what's that? They're exploring, they like testing, and they maybe by 40 only realize what an orgasm is and how to get it. And so when they realize what an orgasm is, it's only the beginning of the journey, okay? And then it gets better later, right? It's not straight away. So that's the major difference. That's coming back to evolution, because for men to get orgasm it's vitally important for the survival of species, but for women, not. It's not, so we enjoy it later in life. So there is technically, biologically, no need for women's orgasm, but of course we need it.
No, wrong. Pair bonding.
Sorry?
Pair bonding.
Pair bonding? No, but that's for relationship. We're talking about biological need.
Stronger relationship and better.
Yes, but this is not biologically necessary.
True, but it's needed.
Yeah, but we're only talking about what's biologically necessary. That is why men experience it straight away. Of course, it's great for your relationship if you can do it simultaneously. People do it simultaneously. I'm just so amazed at how comfortable I'm talking about these things on the camera. Oh my god! But it's not necessary, and that's why this is the way it happens. So, what do men need? 4 things. Yeah. Oh, you know them. You're a man. Gratitude and appreciation. So gratitude. Yeah. Value. That women value them. To be fair, I think this list is for anybody, men and women. Okay. Admiration.
What?
Admiration. And pride. Different things. All of these are different things. We're going to go into detail right now. A woman's gratitude is the fuel for men's action. Okay? Actually, with the women and men is a bit different. I just heard this video yesterday from Satya, and it's so true. He says a man can go out and earn $6 million. Yeah? And a woman at home, she's like, oh, I've done 26 things today. Like, I've washed dishes, I've cooked something, I've done this, done errands, what, for the kids, whatever. So 26 things. So he comes back home and says, oh, I've earned 6 million. And she's like, okay, well, your one thing minus mine, 26, that's 25. So I've done more. It's totally women logic, you know. It does, so gratitude, it's like point. It's like 1 point. You've done one thing, I've done 25. That's how it works for women. So if a man does something for a woman and he's not getting these 4 things, it's only a matter of time when he says, why the heck am I doing this? right? And he'll stop doing things. You know, these are not synonyms. And to understand this, but avoiding explanation like at school, we'll do it in different style, Satya style, and we'll do it by example. Okay, imagine you have a quinta, villa, with a sauna, right? With a Russian sauna, like a Russian, like where you need wood to find. Some people don't know. Just clarifying. And you have a fireplace, and you need your beloved husband. Well, actually, he just got up. Your beloved husband John went out and chopped the wood. So he put his boots on and got a stump ready and took an axe and started. Then he's made whole pile of firewood. And he's performing his man's duties. We don't want to disagree. We don't have disagreement that it's a man's duty, right? Chopping wood is man's duty. It's his responsibility, right? I think even the most hardcore feminists will agree. So, can't be like, oh no, John and I are equal. Saturday is my day to chop wood and Sunday is his. Well, no way. Yeah? So in this example, what do we thank him for? What do we value him for? And what do we admire for? And what are we proud of? So if he washed dishes, then he helped you because washing dishes is your responsibility. But the firewood is his. You could just say it's your responsibility. I don't have to be grateful. We don't do that, right? So let's start with gratitude and praise. Yeah, you always thank people for what they do, right? Yeah, unless you are a bad person. You say it how? Yeah, you say it thank you to him in his face, right? He did it for you. It's nice to say thank you. And by the way, for anything, to anybody. That's why I said this for everybody, not just for men, but especially for relationship for men. Okay? Admiration. So what do we admire men for? When he did that, he just chopped wood. What should we say?
What would I do? Thank you. What would I do without you? That's it.
There's only men in audience here, so it's difficult. So we admire him for his men's qualities. To his face, okay? For his muscles, like look, daddy is a Brantazar. And mom is all vibrating, from his strength. Pride. So, sorry, come back to admiration. We do it also, we say to him, right? You such muscle, all muscle. What about pride?
That's for other people.
For other people, exactly. So we tell someone else, hey, my husband, did you see what he did? Did you see that wood? He's so muscly. He's like, wow, and you brag and brag and brag and brag. There is another ancient story of ancient writing point that you should always pride your husband. And there is no limit. You can pride and be proud and proud, just no limit to everybody at work, to friends, to anywhere, no limit. And what about value? What are the theories? Which is logical conclusion from the other three. You can do this, I know.
Again, what would I do without you? You're so valuable that I need you. You hear? Take everything.
Yes, but value is more to yourself. Value is more in your head, it's sort of like when you said it to him, you said it to others, but now it's to yourself, you know? And he might even have flaws, but he has these good qualities, and you need to realize that he's not the worst option, you know? It's more like when you sit alone and you're like, it seems Santa got my letter. 80% of marriages are falling apart, but mine is still together. And I'm 20 years with John, and it's like not too bad. He chopped firewood today. He didn't have to, but he did, right? We even have a sauna. How many people have sauna? Jane's husband promised her sauna, but bought himself a boat motor instead and went drinking with his friends. But mine is not like that. We have a sauna. And drinks only once a year on New Year's Eve. And blah, 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 blah. And we have kids he loves. You know, I'm not working. We're actually happy. You know, that's how you value. And it's probably the most important the most important thing that woman can give. No, it's something that you cannot see, but you can feel. When somebody really values you, you feel. You know? And that concludes part 1. Next time in part 2, real life is born from realistic expectations. And so we will talk about realistic expectations and some more concepts about hormone, a lot of interesting stuff. We kind of still sorting the problem, but we will get to a solution of what to do with ourselves and how to solve stress. Oh, very, very interesting. What are the ways to release and acquire more hormones that help us relieve stress, and all the simple things that we can do ourselves and we can do for each other, and the settings we need to be in. Lots of interesting stuff, so join in. Thank you.